All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, we get to cast the winners finals for you guys today. It's going to be your first seed, Ball State University, versus your third seed, Ohio University. I am Lucas, aka Lucky.
I'm Bryce Collinsworth, aka Rhino.
And this game is going to be great. You're not going to want to miss it. It might even go to all 5 maps.
I could see it. Ohio has been scrappy all day, and Ball State has shown some falters, going to 5 against Miami and giving up a map to the 8th ranked Buffalo. Ohio's looking for not necessarily an upset, but it is still kind of, an upset.
Yeah, the first seed versus the third seed. It is definitely still technically considered an upset, even though it would be less of an upset if Buffalo, did beat Ball State fully.
Yeah.
They did take a map off of them, which you said, which is super, super impressive. And yeah, now we can pull up the graphic here. I believe this is going to be the tournament bracket. And as you see, a lot of games have been played already today. I had the pleasure of casting Ohio versus Akron and Ball State versus Miami yesterday on that B stream, and those were two great games that made their way to map 5. The Ohio versus Akron one, it was a last 2 minutes Runasapi push game that came down to the wire. One took team the lead with 3:40 to go, and then the other team took the lead right back with 2 minutes to go to win the game.
That's electric. I was in the room live while the Ball State Miami game was happening for Game 5 after casting the Kent State Buffalo match, and it was electric in there. And so I'm hoping both teams are locked in. It's gonna be a great day of Overwatch just overall.
Yeah, and of course, this stream is going to be casting that Ball State versus Ohio stream. The other stream, I believe, is casting the Grands for Rocket League,
Yes.
which is, of course, Ball State versus Akron. And then after these two matches, we're going to get that losers semifinal be casted. Of course, that is Kent State versus Miami.
I think that is being played simultaneously with Ball State Ohio. So then it'd be the losers finals will be casted, and then Overwatch Grand Finals.
Okay, perfect. I also like that plan. I think that makes sense for everything to go at the same time like that. I think very shortly we're going to get into map here, and it is usually a control that starts out first. So we can either see Busan, we can see Nepal, or we can see Ilios.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Ilios so far. It's just overall, I would say the most beloved map of all of the three of them, and it's just the most balanced map because you have Well, which is a very good rush, maybe a good brawl map. Lighthouse, very good. You can see maybe dive, but still more your brawl. And then you obviously have Ruins, which is really good for dive. So I about spaced on Ruins, but I locked in.
Yeah, not only dive, but you can even see the occasional Widow pick at Ruins with how long the sight lines are. So if we have any really good Widow players in this tournament here today, maybe you pick Ilios and get your Widow player set up for a really good map there. But of course, I did see a Nepal. We saw a couple of Nepal maps yesterday, and those were really, really interesting. It's kind of the same setup as well, where one map is kind of divey, one map's kind of brawly, and the third map is kind of pokey. So it's good to see that these control maps on the table for the day, they all bring a multitude of different comps here. The one I have not seen yet today is actually Busan.
Really?
Busan is really not common. I believe you have City Center, you have Mecha Base, and then you have, I honestly don't even think I could name the third one just because Busan is like so.
It's Shrine. It's Shrine or Temple?
Shrine? What's?
It's
yes. Sanctuary.
Sanctuary
is what it's called. You're right.
It's a synonym. That's fine. I got
well, there's Sanctum, there's Sanctuary, and there's Shrine, but they're all part of different
maps.
yeah, exactly. It's so confusing. Because Nepal has Sanctum and it has Shrine.
Yeah.
But it's honestly hard to tell the difference between a Sanctum and a Shrine because I really don't know what the difference between a Sanctum and a Shrine would actually be.
There's probably some small difference that we don't know and don't understand.
But of course, this is going to be a really good matchup, one that I haven't seen since the regular season.
Yeah.
I do believe
Ball State, I think we both casted
I believe we did cast it, yeah.
Ball State 3-0 or 3-1.
It was definitely a 3. I think it was a 3-0.
I think it was a 3-0 because because obviously you have the greatest, I would say the greatest name of anybody in the ESC with Ohio's tank, LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest name by a mile. But I believe, but you have to think that was when with Ohio, with Ball State, they still had Mech
on their
starting lineup on that Tracer. Now you see more Bordy on the Tracer. But I have seen, and the meta has shifted. Tracer's kind of she's still very popular, but she's kind of fallen out when we see more of a
Mhm.
sim pick,
Yeah.
especially from Bordy. He has loved the sim, especially on, like you casted it, game 5 against Miami.
Mhm.
That sim would just like walk Miami down each and every time.
Yeah, a big thing we were talking about yesterday is this new lineup of flex DPS. It used to be last semester, essentially the past 3 years of this game. It has been Genji Tracer, Genji Tracer. That's what you're putting your flex DPS on. Maybe the occasional Mei, maybe the occasional Pharah or Echo on like rare circumstances. It has completely changed. The meta shift is insane. There are now 4 flex DPS that these guys like to rotate between. Neither of them are Tracer or Genji commonly.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Reaper, you're looking at the Echo, you're looking at the Symmetra, and you're looking at the Venture, who
Yeah.
is also making a really big appearance in this meta. So that is something to watch out for. There are so many more flex DPS on the table. And of course, I say those are the main 4. Genji and Tracer, because their skill ceiling is so high, they're always going to be able to be played at this highest level of competition. So even though those are the main 4, I wouldn't be surprised if a Genji comes out from Topaz or a
Yes.
Bordy, plays that Tracer today.
Yeah, and especially with a dive comp because Venture is good for a dive comp, but like if you're running your especially when we've seen Hazard.
Hmm.
It was I think BGCU played that Hazard so well with a Genji and with a I think it was just Genji. But they run that dive so well, but you almost have to use your main DPS to play the other sort of flex DPS and go Genji Tracer.
Hmm.
Or maybe you see like Genji Reaper, Genji Cast, Genji Cat, etc.
Okay, so this is actually what I was expecting. Ball State, they played Nepal against Miami and absolutely dominated in it in that winner semifinal yesterday. So they're going to pick Nepal again. Now, what I wasn't expecting was actually the Ram ban coming out from Ball State. It just surprised me because we have 2 really good Ram players. Of course, Noah and Droid both know how to play Ramattra very well. So no matter what comp you want to start, if we start on the ball comp with Noah in and we want to switch to the Ram, we can. Or if we start on something like an Ori or a Winston, something that Droid likes to play, he can also switch over to the Ram. The Ram ban, it is a bit confusing, but maybe they're just trying to protect a tank that they want to play instead.
Yeah, I'm like you said, they have two phenomenal Ramattra players. Good old Manoa got to warm up playing comp. One trick ram and he just
Yeah.
walked people down in GM. So
Funnily enough, he even by some luck he got on the same team as EANCV, who is the flex support for EMU, I believe, which
that's
is really funny.
hilarious. That's hilarious. But and you got to think it's a kind of a power move because they do know Ohio loves the ram as well.
Hmm.
If you make their tank uncomfortable, you know that Noah can play the ball, Droid can play Zarya, so no matter what tank you play, no matter what other tank you play, you have a comfort pick for the other one, like with the Ramatra ban. And does Ohio have that in their lineup?
Hmm. The one thing I will say is LeBron James, he has a really good Doomfist, and Ball State, we are so, for whatever reason, when we see a Doomfist, we low key just crumble. So that is the biggest thing I think Ballside has to watch out for is that surprise pick if LeBron James goes onto that Doomfist. But I think they know how to play around it. Droid can swap to the Orisa, Ghost can swap to the Cass. There's a lot of ways to play around a Doomfist, which is why you don't usually see him at this like upper level of competition. And I am just getting word Ohio has been wooing.
I do like that because like Ada is just a like game
Yeah.
changer on like just the long range capabilities because especially behind walls, he makes those shots look so easy. And so if you want to crumble anybody and I would say you got to go with the supports early and I do like the ban from Ohio.
Yeah, and then what that does for us is we're probably going to see neither Bap Lucio or Kiri Lucio backline here for these teams. Maybe a Bap Brig if you're really comfortable on the Brig and you have a main support who much prefers the Brig over the Lucio. But with kind of this really brawl heavy meta where you do want that burst of speed for your tank, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a lot of Lucios in this game where wooing is banned.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple Junos for the
Okay.
speed boost. So I'm just curious on like with it just goes it comes down to comfortability with a support. Like it could like if you are more comfortable playing that Juno or if you're more comfortable playing that Brig, Lucio, etc., etc. So I don't because like they're all I don't want to say meta, but like they're all viable options.
Yeah, double flex support, double flex DPS. There's so much viability in this meta right now for any sort of comps. I mean, we've seen so much today, and we've seen like almost every tank in the game besides those ones that are really out of meta. And it's actually going to be, so Village is going to be our first point here, and Droid opting for that Diva early on.
I do respect the Diva Alphabet, obviously, starting that 6-7. So, but yeah, Diva into Zarya. Maybe we can see some Eaton Gravs here. So, Alphabet, obviously.
Yep.
That's
someone
like,
give him the 7. Someone's got to give him the 7. No way.
No.
Okay, as we hear Ball State yelling and fighting in the room next to us. The TPs are going to come out. Scarbo, LeBron James starting on the starter. That is a very favorable matchup for this Zarya in regular competitive play. So we're going to see how Droid has to play around this. The entirety of Ball State has to play around this now. Akusora finding a great shot on a Ghost already. That's the first elimination of 2 days. Imagine Overwatch now. Ball State, they're going to have to back up. They're going to do their best to hold as much space as they can. But down their hit scan, it's going to be really, really tough. And I'm so sorry, guys. Our monitor has shut off. I cannot actually see the gameplay.
What is happening? You're enjoying the stream. Hello? I think it was on too long. Are you back? Please wait. I'm waiting. HDMI 1. We're back! We're so back! We never left!
I had to hit the power button on the TV remote.
I think it was on too long. It just shut off. And Bordy gets a nice little kill with LeBron James with the assist from Droid on that nice dive. And now it's just a walk 'em down situation. Ghost gets traded out, so Ohio is not all lost. But Bordy cleans house. 3 eliminations to end it, and he's feeling hot early.
Yesterday in the matches I casted with OU versus Akron, OU versus Kent State, Topaz was electric on the Genji, on the Venture, but I don't think his Symmetra is up to par with his other flex DPS characters, so it's going to be interesting to see how that Topaz versus Bordy matchup actually works. It's a really quick sound barrier coming out here from Ada now. That's going to give Ball State all of this space. The lamp is forced out from Dexter. LeBron James simply can't live. Big Whoop is able to find a Trojan Alphabet. It's a 4v4, but Droid using those micros kills nearly the entire health bars of the entire OU team. He's forced to use that self-destruct to keep himself in that mech. But OU, they lost 2 players, and Ball State keep all of the space.
Ball State's playing so aggressive, and I love it from them. They use an ult or they use an ability to be able to just to charge in as quick as humanly possible. But it was a little bit too aggressive. But you see Alphabet pops a Kitsune Rush, and they do it again. They just collapse on the enemy team. Lucio div onto that's going to be Alphabet on an ult account. We'll talk about that in a second. LeBron James killing Ghost. It's still even. Winnable for both teams. Droid gets the mech. Does not have the self-destruct to bring his mech back quick. Bordy gets the kill onto Dexter. It's just a Zarya and a Lucio. But Bordy falls, and so does Droid. It's going to be in favor of Ohio, but is it? The TP comes out. Alphabet and Ada get one apiece. And Ball State, are they done? No, it's just Topaz. Topaz gets in, but Ada falls, and OU finally captures the point. Wow.
Okay, so a very long and drawn-out fight. As you were saying, Ada had some problem getting into his main account today, so he is Kaba Uso. I think that's one of his alt accounts. Don't worry, he did verify with Nace that his main account is not banned, so he is actually allowed to be playing this match. But of course, the account he's going to be using for today is Kaba Uso, but I am just going to call him Ada because that's what we have been doing for the entire season.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the alts, Ball State don't have a single one playing in OU's 3. It's going to be a really early overclock, and the amplification matrix comes out from either side. Goes on this off angle, really not able to find a lot of value with it. The amplification matrix, the OC from Akusora is so clean onto Ada's Lucio. LeBron James able to find a second, and now Akusora just taking all the space he can on the map. Droid gets demech'd, and now he's just going to get staggered forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, I like the attempt from Ball State TPing up top left, but just the really so solid from Akusora with that OC just finding picks of where he needs to. And Ada has been caught out of position a handful of times here, and now we're in last fight territory. Ball State needs to touch.
Yeah, Droid is really close to that self-destruct, but Topaz with that Photon Bear is going to be a huge game changer for this fight. There it is. It's so quick. Ball State have to keep on this touch because overtime is now ticking down. Droid is just not able to find the space he needs. He's just simply taking too much damage from that Zarya. He's instantly demegged. Bordy's going to be the next one to fall. The Soundbearer as well comes out from Big Whoop. Ball State just don't have any ults to contest the point with Alphabet. Gets the Kitsune Rush down, but he's the last one alive, and he will fall. Ohio takes the first map.
Yeah, Ohio just really had the ult advantage. Ball State just got caught between a rock and a hard place, just having nothing in their own favor. Just a really unfortunate timing here, and I do think it's hilarious. We can hear the comms a little bit through the wall when they're like shouting, because this isn't like a full wall. We have a green screen behind us, but it's a window behind that, so we can just hear, especially the comms of Bordy 1, because if you don't know, he is loud.
Yeah, me and him, when we're both in the arena, it's known to get very, very loud in there, as me and him are two of the loudest guys in the entire esports program. I would go as far to say as we are the loudest people in the entire esports program over there at Ball State. Of course, that includes all 7 of our varsity teams and our production team as well. But here we go, the comps. No switches actually from either side besides Droid swapping off that D.Va into the Zarya. So remember, and we're actually bubbling our sim. Okay, that makes sense, yep. So Bordy just taking space, already trying to get his tier 2, his tier 3 beam on that Symmetra. And Akusora, once again, already looking for an angle, but he's getting heavily contested by Ghost. And Ball State taking a lot of space now away from OU.
I like the discipline just to not push this kite back a little bit, just to keep this angle, especially with the sim turrets. Like, it's going to be so difficult for LeBron James to try to in here. And let's see if maybe he can do it. TP goes on to the point, but it gets destroyed before anybody can use it. Maybe a good fake out here as Kawauso gets one, or sorry, Ada, and then Ball State just collapses on OU. And let's see if Big Whoop can get out, and he can. So nobody falls for the side of Ball State, and Ohio trying to look for maybe a way to get into the Ball State defenses.
Yeah, now this is such a hard choke point to break through, though. Capping this point on Nepal Shrine and then having to recapture into it after you've already lost it is so difficult. Because look, as LeBron James takes space here, he's just getting pelted down with damage after damage after damage. Dexter can only do so much to keep his tank's health bar at full health, and he just can't do enough. But here we go, the amplification matrix comes out so quick for Dexter. Akusora is using it, looking for some shots. He nearly is able to kill Ghost, just not able to on that occasion. LeBron James is able to now flip the point with the space he got, but he's also got the grab. The Kitsune Rush comes out from Alphabet. I'm curious if he's going to use the grab. There it is. But the Soundbearer is already coming out from Ana, so nobody's going to die to the grab, and nobody at Ball State dies at all, even with Akusora popping overclock and 2 more ults used by Ohio State, or Ohio University.
3 actually. They used 3 for that team fight, and the thing about grab, you have to wait for the sim to use her TP, because both Bordy and Topaz, if they get grabbed, can teleport out of the grab to just make it completely useless, and we saw that this past fight. So you can see, TP goes down, Droid is going to probably want to use his TP as quick as humanly possible, and you can see it goes out. Ball State just going to collapse here and see it try to win this team fight.
Great grab, it forced out the amplification matrix. Now though, Big Whoop looking in with that Soundbearer, the Photon Wall in response from Bordy. Ghost is on an amazing off angle though. Look how he's just able to live there and rain down terror on that Ohio University team. Topaz can do nothing but die, and once again, Ball State able to win the fight using minimal ults.
Yeah, they're doing really good here, just keeping space with a little bit of a commit here from Droid. I do like it, just a collapse, gets the Photon Barrier out early, but Ada is going to fall. So does Bordy, a little bit too aggressive there for Ball State. You can see Ohio's going to take complete advantage of it and just collapse onto Ball State, but you got to think, they're a little bit happy. I believe they used Beat as well as Photon Barrier in that team fight, and so you got 2 ults out really by not doing anything, and OU is not going to get that many percentage points going into this team fight.
Yeah, now OU is in 1-fight territory. If they lose this next fight, Ball State will win this point, and they only have 1 ult. Amplification Matrix going into Ghost, Overclock, and Alphabet's Kitsune Rush, which will happen really soon, and maybe Droid can charge up that Graviton Surge, and Nada can get the Soundbearer as well. Here we go, the first ult being used in the fight. It's Overclocked into that Amplification Matrix, and he's got to be careful peeking the window, because Akusora is right there looking for a rail headshot right back onto Ghost, but nothing happens. Ball State not able to use that OC to take space because that window was used in response. So now Droid just trying to face check LeBron James. The Kitsune Rush does come out. Then LeBron James will fall. He just gets melted because of all the damage Kitsune Rush provides. Akusora pops Overclock to see if he can find some way to get Ohio University back in this point, but he's just not able to. Dexter falls, Big Whoop falls. Akusora's next to fall. 98, 99, 100. Ball State fight back and win the second point.
I really love how just disciplined this Ball State team is playing. You can see at the very end with the OC Bordy goes a little bit aggressive to try to clean house in the backline, and then realizes he's in danger and immediately TP's out. Could have maybe aggroed to try to get the kill onto Akusora, but he just did not want to risk anything. That's exactly what you want to see out of your flex DPS.
All right, we had Sanctum, we had Shrine, and now here we have Village, the final map of this, or the final point of this Nepal map. And once again, Bryce, I don't think we're going to see any comp changes.
I don't believe so at all. Alphabet looking at the Juno, but that's maybe just for the E outside, but I do. If Alphabet stays, I don't hate it. Oh, then it immediately switches back. But it's just Alphabet's Kiri is just so good and just so dominant that we've seen the entire tournament.
All right, Alphabet uses Protection Suzu really, really early there, but it works to perfection because he just minimizes all the damage OU tried to provide, and they were just able to blow up LeBron James because Ball State simply just didn't back up. Alphabet threw the Suzu down, and Ball State just walked through the entire team of OU. That is a great use of that major perk of Kiri that gives everybody on his team, I believe it is a little bit of speed and a little bit of cooldown reduction when you get Suzu.
Yeah, they're playing such a high risk, high reward strat, really trusting each other just for the survivability as a whole and just to keep them alive, and it is working so well. OU trying to break through, but Ball State is hot. They've got the gears turning, and it's going to take a lot to stop it now.
Yeah, here we go. LeBron James and the entire team of OU taking that TP on top of point now. He opts to drop down a point, putting some pressure on a Ball State. Droid is going to match him, though, walking up through point. Ball State so close in their Kitsune Rush already. Alphabet's doing a great job of charging it up so quickly. Ball State, though, they don't have the space. They have to let OU actually flip the point, but Ghost able to use that Disruptor shot to kill Big Whoop, and that's the Ghost 9 here for Ball State now. Akusor dies next to Lamp. Picard gone for Dexter. Topaz able to find the trade on You Can't See Ghost with that tier 3 beam, but a Lonely Sim's not going to live for long, and Ball State able to get that point right back in their control.
Yeah, I mean, good trade getting Ghost, but you've got the TP from Bordy, and Ada can just go and just speed back, and it was just a very good attempt there from Topaz, just trying to disrupt Ball State as much as possible. But again, Ball State is just collapsing so fast. And here we got a big team fight. Everybody's pressing Q. Everything's going out. Alphabet gets one burst of support down a piece. Droid gets one on the Topaz, gets two on the Big Whoop. Trying to find something. Droid falls, but it's a team kill. It does not matter that they lost the tank. They kept everybody else.
All right, so the defense, the amplification matrix, excuse me, into the Kitsune Rush. On this occasion, that Kitsune Rush actually does come out on top, and now looking at the alts, it's so scary for OU as they're really behind on ult economy. Ball State coming up on 4 ults. OU as well coming up on 4, but they're much more behind in that ult percentage. Ball State gonna have their ults much quicker. There it is right there, the photon barrier from Topaz, but the grab, it's too quick. He throws the disruptor shot right onto that 3-man grab, gets the 3K. LeBron James falls next. Topaz will be the last to fall, and Ball State bring it back and win the first map.
You can't see Ghost. He gets full last team fight. What a combo from the disruptor shot and the grab from Droid and Ghost. And of course, they give him the play of the game.
Yeah, here we go. I wonder if it is just the last fight. Of course it is. Look at that, this disruptor shot just burning through the health bars of this OU team. I did mention it, Ball State were just so much quicker to their ults, even though OU, if that fight would have dragged out, they would have gotten 4 ults by the end of it because they're 80% to 3 different ults and already had 1. But Ball State, since they had those ults to start the fight, they were able to up their tempo, play at their own speed, and Droid puts the grab right on top of their TP on that point, and they just fell one by one.
Yeah, I think maybe the Zarya switch should have came out from Droid a little bit earlier. I do like when it came out, though. It's just this team, they started off a little bit slow yesterday, but now they're hot. They are looking probably, I would say, the best we've seen the entire
Mhm.
weekend.
Yeah, 100%. I know I didn't get to watch too much of that Buffalo game, but I do know that against Miami, Miami was a force to be reckoned with last night. Let me tell you, they were playing so well. Pooter Scooter on the Zarya was on top of his game. I will say that right now. But Ball State, they did look pretty weak against Miami yesterday, but now they're in full force. They're well rested up. Yesterday was a very long day, let's be honest, and they're back for a vengeance, and they're back for the crown.
Yeah, and so they're just Ball State looking to try to take 2 championships home back to Muncie. I mean, they're, I think, the only team, not because Smash just finished.
Yes.
It's them and Miami that have, believe, 2 teams remaining, and Miami won.
The
No,
Mi-
Akron won.
yeah, I know. I would say Miami and Akron are playing in Smash Bros.
They played.
Okay.
Akron won.
Okay.
So it was Miami, Akron, Ball State were the only teams with 2 different games left after day 1.
Okay.
Smash is over, so now just Rocket League Overwatch. It's just, I believe, Ball State because it's
Yes,
CMU.
that would be correct.
Yeah.
Because if Akron's already, if Smash Bros is done,
Yes.
then yeah, Akron's 2 teams, of course, would be Rocket League and Smash Bros. Ball
Yes.
State's 2 teams would, of course,
Overwatch and
be
Rocket
Overwatch
League.
and Rocket League, and then Miami's 2
Miami.
teams would be the same as Akron, Smash
Yes.
Bros. No, sorry, it's different.
It'd be
It's Smash Bros. And Overwatch.
Yes.
It's a triangle of
Yeah,
teams
it's a
and games.
triangle.
That's really funny.
Look at that.
All 3 of those, those big superpowers in ESC, they have 2 teams. But no 2 teams are the same
Yes.
as any of the other schools.
Yeah, I mean, and you say like the 3 superpowers, but what shocked me when I looked at the bracket, Kent State at 2.
Yeah.
That actually, like,
Kent State and OU had really good seasons.
yes, I was thoroughly surprised with. I looked at the bracket and I was like, oh, Ball State 1, Akron 2, Miami 3. But like, I saw Overwatch and I'm like,
Yeah.
like Kent 2, Ohio 4, no, Ohio 3, Miami 4.
Ohio 3, Miami 4, and then NIU
5,
Akron 6, Bowling
no,
Green 7.
Akron was 4.
Akron is 6.
Akron was 6.
Trust me, Akron 6.
Okay. I believe you.
And then Bowling Green 7, Buffalo 8.
So,
All right, so ain't gotta be going on.
shout out Alphabet.
Ain't gotta be.
Shout out Alphabet. Shout out Alphabet. So, but that was a great game from both sides. First point, Ohio looked very strong. I mean, the thing is that I think the biggest gap was tank, but you're obviously Droid was playing in an uphill battle already with Diva going into Zarya, and so I'm glad they did make the switch going into game 2 about just changing and just mirroring that Zarya.
Yeah, and of course, it definitely is still playable for the Diva. It just makes things so much harder and really awkward because your defense matrix, you're not able to counter most of the damage from a Zarya Sim comp just because they're both beams.
Yeah.
And the point of a Zarya Sim comp is to just burst down the tank once your Sim gets tier 3 beam and once your Zarya gets a lot of charge. So the fact that the Diva isn't able to counter any of the damage coming from those 2 main and insanely high dealing damage sources, it makes it so awkward to play around and nearly impossible, I would say.
Yeah, and then obviously going into round 2, round 2 and really round 3, the biggest thing I saw was the DPS. Ghost and Bordy just ran everything, and like again, you saw it in the play of the game, and I'll come back to it. Discipline. Like at the very end, Ghost could have slid in with after he got that 4K to try to get the Zarya, but he didn't. He stayed behind the photon barrier, just peeking through. Just like if Zarya peeks out and tries to play aggro, he falls. And so just not making a necessarily a bonehead move and just diving in and just getting wiped.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to watch this team do is somehow it happens every single fight, or not every single fight, but almost every fight. And Ball State are so good at setting Ghost up. But it's so crazy how just a lot of these fights, we just randomly cut to Ghost's perspective. He is so safe on an off angle, just in sight of the entire OU team, but no one can push him, no one can force him because Ball State were able to set it up. Yeah. And now we do have the maps and bans for
Yeah, so we have the map. The map is good old Dorado, good old Dorito, and OU bans Monkey.
That makes sense.
So yeah, and then Ball State bans the Lucio.
Okay, so this makes a lot of sense. We talked about Otta loving Wu Yang.
Yes.
So of course, if you ban the Lucio, you're gonna force that Kiri Lucio comp.
Yes.
Or Kiri Wu Yang comp. Excuse me.
Yeah. And so, I do like the Lucio ban. I'm confused about the win because I have not seen that. And obviously, you've been around the Overwatch team a lot more. But like in this tournament, I have not seen that much Monkey out of Ball State.
But I do think they know how good Droid's Monkey is.
Oh, absolutely. Like
I
Droid
feel like
is
they have to
nuts.
know. Yeah.
But like I saw this. It was earlier. It was yesterday actually. I believe it was Bowling Green Akron.
Okay.
And it was I saw ball on Dorado, and it worked a good amount. Ball State has a ball player.
That's true.
His name is Manoa. I'm just saying.
I think if the Monkey's banned, I think Droid will probably just play the Diva.
Yeah,
I think the other big thing that Monkey ban does is Dorado on a Brig Monkey is super, super good. If OU doesn't want to play on a Brig Monkey, easiest way to do that is simply just ban the Monkey.
Yeah, and I mean, and we've seen collapse, like Ball State collapses so well, and I think just a Monkey dive is the epitome of getting collapsed on because you have Big Monkey jumping on you
as your entire team's purple.
Yes, and so yeah, I mean it's a good ban, but it's like I would think you would see like maybe depending on if Noah comes in a ball ban or depending on they already banned a support.
I think it OU does have first ban because they lost. They have map pick and first ban. I think the Winston ban makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Winston's very good in this map. Droid's very good at Winston. Let's just take it out altogether.
Yeah. Just they don't like Droid. They're not a big fan of him.
We banned the Ram first map.
Yes.
So okay, yeah. So they don't like Otta, they don't like Droid, because those are the 2 target bans that have come out so far.
They're just going down the list.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going. It's like a hit list.
Yeah, I think they looked at like their ranks and they just. So I'm pretty sure. I think Otta's hit some crazy ranks on Wu Yang.
I believe
this past season. I'm pretty sure he's like champ 4. And I know Droid's champ 5. So if they're literally just going down the list of rank, I think that would be the order. But yeah, we're gonna definitely get into maps soon. The Lucio ban, of course. I lost my train of thought. The Lucio ban, of course, the Winston ban, and on Dorado. And Dorado's a really, really interesting map because there's so much high ground control on those first 2 points. And then when you get to that 3rd point, it's less of a high ground control and more of a how well can you play those 3 different lanes.
Yeah, and we saw Ball State against Miami on Dorado. Ball State on defense looked really good the entire time. I don't remember exactly what they played. You casted the game, but like how they looked just on defense. They held him to only a little bit past the 1st point, and so like you said, Ball State they picked first map. They picked Nepal, and then but they're kind of Ohio's kind of playing into Ball State's hand by picking Dorado, but maybe they have more confidence that they can produce past this Ball State defense.
Yeah, there's so much counterplay, and there's so many ways to play this map, really, that if somebody tries to set up something, there's so many different ways. If you're the attacking team, you could walk back into spawn and switch out your comp. Okay, somebody give my man a 6.
Somebody give him a 6!
Somebody give my man a 6. Hi, hello, Big Whoops mom and dad.
Hi,
Thank you for tuning into the stream.
You know what? Hi, my mom and hi, my dad.
Topaz is so right. Topaz gave the 6 last time, but no one gave the 7.
Yeah, they're fake.
It's so criminal.
What's good, 40 number 1 fan?
Okay, and hello to all of the Bodie fans out there in the world.
Shout out. I'm a Bodie fan.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Bodie.
I'm a Bodie fan too.
You know, he's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal fella.
I'm also a Topaz fan. I can't lie.
Really?
Topaz wooed me yesterday in the games against Kent and
I
Akron,
didn't
I'm
see
be
it.
honest.
You know what? Topaz, good job. 6!
So. And he is on that Genji, which is he was fragging on the Genji yesterday.
Ghost, let me see something. Let me see something, Ghost. Let me see something, Ghost. Let me see something. You're not gonna see something.
Ew. All right, I was correct about the Diva. But Alphabet, it is going to be Ana Wu Yang versus a Kiri Break backline. 2 very, very comps that aren't played a lot is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Comps that we don't see a lot of time.
Uncommon.
Exactly, uncommon. And now we have Akisora on the Ashe once again. She did recently get that damage buff, so she's really good, but going down to 17 HP. Ghost really, really winning. And that trade of damage rate. Topaz almost gets caught out there by Jordan. He's going to keep chasing. LeBron James has to lose his space now to protect his fucking DPS player because of that. LeBron James does get feedback, and Diva now, this droid, is just going to be able to hold all of this space.
Yeah, 40 does fall, but that quick respawn is going to be really beneficial for Ball State on this escort map here. So they're just doing a really good job, Ball State as a whole, of just fighting the overcommitment. As we saw that from the overcommitment from Topaz, he immediately had to fall back, which crumbled the OU offense. And so now OU is just trying to stall Ball State for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, here we go. Now we're going to get a nice above view here as Ball State. They already got the payload a good amount of the distance on this first point, but Bordy falls to the whip shot of Big Lebeki Sora, able to find the headshot to get that Ashe diff, and now Ball State, they're just going to have to back off, reset to spawn. They don't want to get any more stagger deaths here.
Yeah, Ball State just taking the first pick, had to immediately fall back. I think just unfortunate timing, but they come back so fast here, and I don't think they're a little surfaced that much about losing that team fight.
Yeah, here we go. Now Ball State, they're going to have to regroup. They did get, as I said, a lot of payload push already, but now they're going to have to really try to see how they can break this OU defense. As Droid trying to make a lot of space here, but he's just getting bursted down by LeBron James, and LeBron James goes into the back line of Ball State, takes out Ghost. The rally, the nano, both of them come out from the back line of Ball State. They still want to win this fight, even though they're down their Ashe player. They do find 3 trades actually, so it does work. Double support all down to hit scan. Ball State able to pull it out, and now Jordan just is on top of payload. He has that snow destruct online if he needs it. LeBron James opts to not use his because there would be no point. He's already lost the fight.
That's a smart play by him, and I just want to give 40 his. Bob comes in. Wow, this is aggro. Ghost gets one DPS support falls. Topaz falls mid ult. Bob's come out from both sides, I believe, and it's a bob off. We're bobbing it. Bob gets 2. MVP of Ball State here is Bob. Destruct comes out for the side of George, so he can get that neck back a little bit faster. LeBron James still has his self-destruct. Dive comes in for George, but so does he rush from the side of OU. Hey, see that bomb come out from LeBron James? Gets that tank. He gets that back so much faster. Droid, so weak, tries to get away. He gets away. No, he does not. He gets out of mech. And LeBron James gets stranded with that. Also, got to fall back, but Ghost gets a limb onto the Kiriko of Dexter. Trying to maybe find another one. Droid playing a little bit aggressive, trying to get his mech back that much faster. Dive in from LeBron James. His D-Mac trying to get the cross. He gets the cross! Oh. Droid, are you kidding me? What a cross! And now it's the collapse on the OU from Ball State. And they get this first point. What a sequence.
It was a great pick from Ghost on a Dexter, but the crush, the remake kill from Droid onto LeBron James was absolutely spot on. It helps Ball State secure this first point, and now Ohio have to reset up their defense, see what they can do against this Ball State offense on the second point here.
Yeah, Ghost switching over to that Trojan, I like that. A little bit more aggressive than the Ashe. Can maybe get to more off angles to make this support line of OU more uncomfortable as Otta falls to LeBron James. And Topaz looking to get something happen, and Droid just a little bit out of position, but the nano comes out just to keep him alive. Immediately, Topaz goes under danger zone, but he Yuzu comes out for Dexter. Maybe trying to make something happen here. Alphabet had to reload, and Droid falls, and Ball State just gonna fall back a little bit, but Ghost gets a nice trade on to Topaz here, just to make it a little bit more beneficial for Ball State.
Yeah, Akisora does have that Bob online, such a game-changing ult, and Ohio University, they're coming up on so many ultimates here. They're going to have 5 by the time this fight progresses. Ball State going to have to be very, very careful about playing into this Ohio University defense here. But they have this high ground already. Here comes the rally. The kids, they rush in response. The bomb does get stuck by Anna and Topaz. Nobody kill the road. Ghost puts the first back into Ball State's favor, but nobody from Ball State can peak because of that bomb. LeBron James does find the kill onto Alphabet. Droid looking for the trade on the flank support. He does. It's still an even 2v2 here. Ball State versus University of Ohio. They both have Droid gets the next. First to use the 40 hits the small spawn stick onto Akusora. That just might be what Ball State needs to change the tide of this fight. The self-destruct does come out from LeBron James. The blade from Topaz. How many can it find? It's found nothing yet. No, he gets shut down. Nothing comes of it. And this fight just might be won by Ball State.
It just might, but it's still winnable for OU here. And that was a beautiful voice crack from my co-caster. I'm not letting you live that down. Ghost in the danger zone here, praying that he can get out. Suzu comes out really early into this team fight, and LeBron James has got to fall back. Big Whoop trying to make some more happen here on the brig, has to fall back. But Akusora, I like both DPS from OU on this off angle here, but two fall. Both supports, there's no more healing for OU. But look at this, Brig stays alive, but no, she doesn't. Ada gonna fall, but Akusora can't do much as Alphabet gets it, and Ada and Ghost will be able to get that forward spawn so they can get back into the fight that much quicker.
All right, Ball State, both points have been down to the wire so far, but that's not what matters. All that matters is that they got those points secured, and they re-upped their time bank, and now they can fight for this third point, which I talked about. It's less so about high ground control and more about these three different lanes. Of course, that top, or that third lane on the far right, that is a high ground. So we're going to see if Ball State want to rotate up to it, which they are now. And the Kitsune Rush, it comes out instantly from Alphabet. That's going to give Ball State the entirety of this third lane, the entirety of this high ground here. And OU are just forced to back off.
Yeah, they got to back off of LeBron James. Not ready to give it up yet, but Ghost! What a shot! Long range on a Tracer. Probably 5 total pixels was that hitbox, but it doesn't matter. He sees you and you can't see him. He comes in, Droid, got it. Oh, 40 almost had pulse bomb number 3, but it doesn't matter. Ball State collapsing for fall, including the Bob. Hashtag Bob Lives Matter. Nice elim onto LeBron James from Ada really late. That's gonna allow Ball State to be up by a tank. Droid still has, it doesn't even matter. He had bomb, didn't even use it. Ghost just adding the nail in the coffin. DPS diff. Ball State get all 3.
Yeah, Topaz being the only one left alive for OU. His touches, he had them, but they were just so awkward. He got about 2 or 3, but after that, his team just didn't get back in time because they died so much after Topaz's initial death that they just didn't have a good recontest. And even though Ball State, they had all the ults in the world, they had the overclock, they had that self-destruct, didn't even end up using them in the end.
Yeah, Ball State is just they're keeping their ults so well. And yeah, I think you can hear the Miami team as well. They're also behind us.
Of course, they are currently playing Kent State University, yes. And that is an elimination match.
Yes, win or go home.
What, loser go home?
No, win or go home.
Oh, win. Okay. And Kent State actually is up 1-0 in that match in case you're not able to watch it alongside of this one if you don't have more than one devices. And Miami, they're going to have to look for the comeback.
I don't believe it's being streamed.
Or maybe it's not being streamed. I am not a very smart person, so it is being streamed. It's on Miami.
It's on the club.
It's on the club stream. Okay.
Oh yeah, because they have a multi-stream with everything, but there's no casters.
Exactly.
That's smart. Shout out Miami, man. That's intelligent. That's intelligent right there.
And of course, the winner of that is going to play the loser of this. So those are 2 matches that are going to coincide to very soon. And let's see the comp switch-ups. The only switch-up is actually a big one. Topaz onto the Bash, Big Whoop onto the Weaver. And Akusora on the Freya. Okay, they're going to switch to something more traditional now.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think what they were doing is they were just looking for some cheeky Bastion plays with that Weaver pedal.
Yeah, you know what? I respect it. I'm a Life Weaver enjoyer. Shout out Life Weaver mains.
Yeah, and that's what's great about attack is that you can roll out on something weird, and if it doesn't work, you just go back to spawn and switch it. As we saw Ghost looking for those early Widow pop shots, when he didn't find anything, he simply just walked back into spawn, and then switch onto that Sojourn. LeBron James, though, gets left in the ante. Luckily, he has a lot of DM up, so he is able to live, but it's so close, and it's just by barely that he's going to lose all of this space. And yeah, Ada able to find that whip shot to take down his health bar. He's now DMX'd. He's just going to live on Carp as Ball State stabilizing, and now they're going to look for a hit now.
Yeah, 40 just trying to apply as much pressure. Ghost, pressure. Lord, I can't speak. Ghost, nice little elim onto LeBron James, just really stalling this team fight. And Ohio looking to maybe get something. They tried to dive into that backline, but a beautiful play from Alphabet on the Ana, both Purple and Sleep. Just stalled it out very quick. Let's see if Ohio can maybe try something different and get something of sort of value.
Yeah, Droid just trying to keep some pressure on the high ground. LeBron James does have to drop down a payload, but Droid is right there. He's not letting the enemy D.Va get any movement from that cart, because if he's just able to hold the process, OU really we're going to have a tough time going anywhere. Topaz, 40, they're fighting each other on the off angle. This is just about map control right now. Until either team sees something to really fight for, they're just fighting for lanes, fighting for off angles, and fighting for good trades down main. Now Akusora takes a little bit too much damage. 40 does find the melee on a Topaz, so now what Ball State is going to do, we're going to stabilize and then they're going to go! Ghost finds another 2K.
Ew! My lord, somebody take the disruptor shot away from him. It's disgusting. All 5 ults for Ball State, but we almost have all 5 ults for Ohio, so we may have a little Q party here. It's my favorite party.
10-0 fight coming up
10-0
here.
fight!
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? I am curious who is going to play the tempo of this match. Do Ball State want to make OU fight into them, use their ults, Ball State kite back to point, or do Ball State want to ramp up the tempo, fight into OU, and see if they can get some early picks?
I think from what we're seeing, I think Ball State's expecting Ohio to really burn a couple ults here early. That's they're playing far back. Yeah, you see Rush comes in and Ghost immediately falls. He's trying to push in. Both support ults from Ball State. Both DPS ults comes out for Ball State as well. It's just self-destruct. Ohio's only used 2. They have not used Brig Bomb and Pulse Bomb. There's Rally coming out. 40 falls. And Droid gets back into the mech before he gets eliminated, but he's going to get demeched once again. All 5 ults go out for Ball State. 4 ults come out for OU, and OU gets the team fight win.
Oh my gosh, it was the 10-out fight. I was joking about it. I did not think we would ever see a 10-out fight, but look at the scoreboard. Nobody has an ult. We went from 10 to 0 in a singular fight, but OU pull it off. They cap that first point. They give themselves 3 minutes to keep their fighting chances alive in this map now.
Yeah, that's exactly what you'd like to see out of really a team fight. Yeah, no matter how many ults get out, a win is a win here, and everybody used all of them, so really the ult economy is still even. Ball State love to take this high ground and just hold it. We saw it against Miami, and we're seeing it again today. Oh, I do like the fray of Akusora just kind of being a nuisance here on this roof, and then just diving into that backline, almost eliminating Ghost, but he gets away with that nice slide.
Yeah, OU is playing the Kiri instead of the Ana, so Ball State are going to have a good amount more healing to keep their D.Va alive on this high ground, so it should be slightly easier for Ball State. Actually, hold this! Oh! Ew! Ghost finds the nastiest headshot onto Topaz there. LeBron James does find 40 though. The Tracers are down, but now it's both DPS down for OU, and Ghost, he's just tallying up these kills, kill after kill after kill.
I don't think I've seen a man more locked in than when I saw Ghost playing Miami. He was dialed in, hitting everything and anything he could. He's a dog, man. He's an absolute demon on really on any hit scan. He is just a phenomenal player.
Droid even able to find that stagger kill onto Big Whoop. That's going to reset OU's spawn timer, and Topaz dies again. I don't know if they're on the same respawn wave. They're not. So once again, OU has to wait for their players to get out of spawn. Ball State is just doing a great job of finding some small micro errors from OU and punishing them big for it.
Look, the ults may have another 10 ult team fight here. Ghost the last one to get it for Ball State, and we're waiting for Topaz and Big Whoop to the side of OU. First ult comes out on a 40's pulse, tries to get it, and everybody's just pressing Q. 4 ults coming out for OU.
It's the same thing. The Kitsune Rush, the self-destructs, the rally. But Big Whoop, he has to drop with that rally. He has to play cart. On is able to use his rally to fight for this high ground, to help his team hold one of the most valuable positions on this Dorado map in its entirety. And even though OU used 4 ults, they're not able to get a bunch of kills. Now, Sojourn, of course, that's Ghost. Pops at overclock, able to maybe kill kill Dexter, Bordy, Outfit, Droid. They're all finding kills of their own. Ghost able to put a lot of damage in, and now they're staggering. Big whoop. This is a huge stagger.
Toxic.
It's not toxic. It's obviously
it's
strategy.
Still toxic.
That is a huge, huge stagger. I don't think Big Whoop simply now does not make it back for final fight.
I don't believe that is the case. They have to switch to a quicker support.
Lucio's banned?
Lucio is banned. Wow. Wu Yang comes out. Tries to go for the pulse bomb. That's going to be Topaz. Cannot get it onto Alphabet. Falling low. It's just Bordy. Tracer div. Bordy divs. Topaz. Droid onto Dexter. And LeBron James DMX. And Ball State take a convincing 2-0.
I mean, Ball State have done it so well. They played their ult management. It was a bit sloppy on that first point. You know, both teams using 5 ults in one fight, which is really not what we should be seeing at this kind of competitive level here. But sometimes it just happens. And Ball State, they learned their lesson. They didn't use iFall all 5 ults in that big ult fight in the second point. And because of that, they were able to hold on to ults for that last fight and able to win. Here's the play of the game from Ghost. They actually another 3K. I mean, you want to tally? I've lost the count with how many ults this guy how many final blows this guy's gotten.
He's got both plays of the game, and it makes sense. He is an X factor for this Ball State team. He is just absolutely dominant on hit scan. He cannot miss. Physically, he's allergic to missing. Allergic to it.
I feel like if he does miss a shot, his like neck starts itching and it starts
he breaks out in hives.
But yeah, just another really well played map from both sides. OU still able to break down that defense of first point, which is so hard. You saw both teams struggling to get that first point cap, but both teams were able to manage it in the end. So it shows both of these teams really good, and it shows why they both made it to this winners finals.
Yeah, and then in just an update, Rocket League Grand Finals going on right now. It is game number 3. Ball State is up 2-0 in this series, but Akron is up 3-0 in game 3, looking to try to get their first sort of sign of life in this Grand Finals. And I believe Ball State, because they were in the winners, started up 1-0. So
I believe so, yeah.
Because they did that in BFI, so I'm going to assume they're going to do it here.
I believe so, but if not, the score is still 2-0 currently to Ball State. So in the end, it doesn't too much matter. But remember, Ball State did 3-0 Akron earlier on, which is so insane. Of course, both of these teams are literally top 6 in the nation. They've gone head-to-head so many times, whether it be scrims, whether it be warm-ups, whether it be CRL, ESC, NACE, CECC. I mean, you count it. Those two teams have fought so many times. They know each other like the back of their hands. And another great rivalry taking place on, I believe, the B channel, of course, Akron versus Ball State.
Yeah, and Akron does get game 3 to fall their way, so it's going to be a 2-1 series right now, and they're on, I can check which stream, they're on the ESC_conference stream, which is technically the main stream.
I believe that's the B stream. That was the one. Oh, that is the main stream. You're right.
We're on Miami University.
Exactly. Okay.
We're the B stream.
Yes, exactly. Of course, it makes sense. The grand finals is going to be on the A stream.
Absolutely.
I don't know why I thought otherwise. Once again, proof that I'm dumb.
They're on the B stream.
I mean, I just...
It's all right. Happens.
But now, OU, since they lost that map, they once again get the map pick, and they pick Saravasa.
I don't hate it. I do not hate it. Saravasa shown a little bit of trouble for Ball State earlier.
They got nearly 300% to 0 against Miami yesterday.
It was
They got rolled.
Wasn't pretty.
Rolled.
Ohio playing against Ball State's strength, but we've seen the Ball State we've seen in game 1 and 2 is not the same Ball State we saw yesterday. They're a lot more in tune with each other, and that's exactly what you want to see on the final day of a LAN.
Yeah, and the bans have not come out for OU, but I'm going to put my money on a Ram ban here.
They can't.
Did they already ban Ram?
Ramacha was already banned.
No, we banned Ram.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ball State already banned Ram.
I thought it was like if you ban it, nobody can ban it.
Yeah, it's just the same team can't ban the same hero.
Heard.
And Manoa is swapping.
Ball Noah!
Here we go. Ball State going to
Noah!
play the ball comp. And even if the ball gets banned, he can still, of course, play that Ram. So no matter what OU ban, they banned the sim. Bordy's too clean with it. Bordy's too clean with it.
That's number 3. They're going down the list.
They've literally target banned 3 of our players.
They're going down the list. I'm telling you.
Insane.
Wow, that's Ball
But
Noah.
here's the thing. It makes sense. I think once OU brought out their sim ban, Ball State was like, okay, we're no longer going to play that Ram sim comp we practice on.
Yeah.
Let's put our ball player, let's put Noah in, and now we're gonna play ball tracer. And good luck playing into that because
Oh,
those two are linked.
it's yeah, just Noah, he goes in there, plays ball, wraps around, and just goes,
Mhm.
how did that work? And it works every single time.
So I think it's not a very conventional ban, and out of the hit scans, it's not played a lot right now. But if you are planning on playing that ball tracer, I think it has to be the casting ban
Oh,
coming out from
100%.
Ball State.
100%. 100,000%. I think that would probably be the only I don't want to say the only smart band because there's a lot of smart bands, but like we've seen Cass, he's so unbelievably strong in today's Overwatch, and his concussion is like one of the best utilities in the game. Cass, I think, is the only clear option.
Yeah. And then on the hit scan side of Ball State, I do know that Ghost loves playing the Freya on this Ball State banned Diva. And I was
Really?
okay. This is actually just about what I was about to say. This is insane timing. Ghost loves playing Freya on Siravasa, but into a Diva, the Soj is just so much better.
Yes.
So they banned the Diva, and now they open this Freya pick up for Ghost. We have not seen it yet this match. It cooks.
Yes.
It really does cook. Honestly, some of the best Freya gameplay I've seen all year though was from Sweaty yesterday. I believe he's the hit scan for Akron, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
His gameplay on Soj, Freya, and Ash yesterday was so top level. His team barely lost out to OU, and they barely lost out to Miami. Of course, they are unfortunately out of the bracket, but Sweaty was putting on some insane clinics on those hitscan heroes.
Yeah, and we saw speaking of like hitscan Cass, which shocked me completely. From Bowling Green, Bob played
Okay.
was like had the nasty. I need to find the clip because I want to clip it. Had the nastiest, I think, 120-degree flick on a rising venture.
Oh my gosh.
Genuinely one of the nastiest plays I've ever seen in my entire life. And like Bowling Green went in, and like it was a rank 4 versus rank 7, and we're like, okay, win the first map, and they picked New Junk City for the memes, which I respect.
It's a great map.
Picked New Junk City, took them to 0.5.
Wow.
They rallied quick, and Bob was off rolling the first 3 maps, was playing tank, playing the hazard, and then switched to Cass and just absolutely put on a clinic. And so we're talking about hit scans. I gotta mention Bob. I gotta mention the GOAT.
Dude, these 6-7 seeds, unironically, Bowling Green and Akron, even though they're both out of the tournament now, they showed amazing potential here today. And some of these really well-established teams like Miami, Ball State, OU, and Kent, they were taking maps off of them, making it look so competitive. You don't normally see that in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Usually, especially in NA, every single team in that top 8 series of OWCS, it's just like this team's much better than this one. This team's much better than this one. You can just go down the line. It's a perfect 8-0-7-1-6-2, like in order, map by map or team to team to team to team, I should say. But Bowling Green and Akron played so well at this land. They both showed up. It is just a shame that they're both out of it already.
Now you can't talk about like the shocking story and not talk about 8 ranked Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
not just beating NIU, sweeping NIU. That was unprecedented. If like everybody thought that they would just come in 2 L's out, but they go in, take a game off of Ball State, and then go in, have a phenomenal performance against NIU, and then turn around and they play Kent State and are really close. You can see it in the bracket right here. They take the game off the 1 seed, go down 3-0 NIU, and then the Kent State, against Kent State is a phenomenal team. You can see they're up 2-0 on Miami. Miami, Ball State struggled playing Miami, and Kent State's making it look effortless. And Buffalo, really, they held their own for a majority of the game. They were back and forth, and just Kent State had the individual skill level to propel themselves past Buffalo. But as a team, Buffalo played phenomenally.
Yeah, Ball State had a really tough time against Miami yesterday, and I really was trying to back Miami. I thought they could make their way through this loser bracket based on how good they were playing yesterday. I really hope that they can try to pull off this reverse sweep because that team is full of a lot of really good players. You think of Nitrous Oxide and his Ana, you think of Pooter Scooter and his Orisa, and especially his Zar at this land. Him and Ana, that Zarya Reaper comp is so unstoppable. It's so unstoppable, and Ball State had a really hard time adjusting to it. And even if On's not on his Reaper, that venture from him is so good as well.
Yeah, and as you can see, Suravasa, just a it's I love Suravasa just as a whole. It's like it's very balanced. It's like each area of the map is like a breath of fresh air because it's so different from anything else in the map. Like you have this point which is very like I would say like very tight, not a lot of breathing room. Can't really. I mean, you can take some off angles up top, but then you turn over to like the far like left point, or you go to market, and it's just like right here. It's so open on the right side. You can go up top, take the high ground, and you can go low. And just a quick little tiny update before we get into this. Ball State has taken game 4 in overtime against Akron 2-1 and is up 3-1 in the series. We need a 2016 Cavs level of performance from Akron, or Ball State claims the second trophy of the weekend with Rocket League. Yeah, just
no,
Smash.
first trophy of the weekend.
Smash.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So I thought you meant Ball State second trophy, but the just overall second trophy. Yeah.
Oh, P. We're on P.
P. At Ethan. That's funny. Of course, Ethan, or AKA Just, he is currently our spectator for this lobby, so he's the one setting up all the lobbies.
Ethan.
Yeah, all hearts out to Ethan.
He woke me up this morning because I did not set an alarm. Shout out Ethan.
Oh, did you like what alarm I set for you, by the way?
It scared me. It scared me. No, it scared me, bro. I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm letting it play out, and then it replayed, and I'm like, I'm gonna wake up your entire
Give it away,
house.
give it away,
Bro,
give it away now.
It scared me.
Give it away.
Like you could have picked a song that so anybody that doesn't know, I slept at good old Lucas Ilucky's house because he lives close by to Oxford, and
You felt you were slumped.
and I fell asleep and I didn't set an alarm, and he knew that. And so he set an alarm on his Echo, and he played "Give It Away" by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you know "Give It Away," it starts sharp. Scared, bro. I thought I died.
I knew how much you loved the Chili Peppers, and of course that album Blood Sex Sugar Magic as well. Here we go. Noah already taking a lot of damage. Has to pick up that Mega below point here. He's just looking for what he can find, but Big Whoop able to get the first clone on a Bori, though. That is a much better trade, the flank support for the main support. So now Noah looking to burst down Akusora. He does. And LeBron James, though, he finds a trade of his own. So it is still a 3v3 here, but Ball State, they have their better rolls up, I should say, and they're going to have control of the point, and they do get the cap down.
You're just being an absolute nuisance in the backline, just making Ohio's life just that much more miserable because he is such a dominant ball player. He can get in and out as quick as possible. He knows exactly who to target and how to comment. Him and Bordy on the Tracer can eviscerate a team as quick as possible. And I like Topaz here on this flank. Maybe trying to find something. Gets the blink in. Ball State maybe knows where he's at. Tries to dive the Wu Yang of Ada. Can he get it? Bordy, nice little dive in to protect his support, and he gets the Tracer diff. Beautiful. Ghost with the ult comes out, gets one, and the lamp. LeBron James gonna fall, but Alphabet, Ghost, and the rest of the Cardinals collapse on OU to stay alive. Big stagger here, big stagger.
Yeah.
Nice little punch.
Big stagger for Big Whoop, and let me say that was so well played from Bordy and Ada. Ada, he's getting dove by Topaz. What does he do? He doesn't panic. He hits one shot on the Topaz, forces the recall, calls for Bordy to help him with the Tracer, and Topaz, now out of recall, just gets bursted down. And that is a big reason of why Ball State were able to win that fight.
Yeah, they easily know where to go every single team fight. And you see LeBron James switches to the ball mirror. Akusora trying to find something. Oh, he got a little bit greedy there. I think he could have gotten the one. And the high noon fades away. Noah trying to fight the ball diff here. Akusora getting absolutely pelted by Ghost every time he peeks. And OU trying to cap. They're in overtime on this first point. Noah gets hindered very fast. That's the cast ban. saw, but a little Charlie Niner there gives Ball State the first point.
Yeah, Big Whoop uses a sound here. I think it was a little bit of a miscommunication, though, because Ohio did not say who had the next touch. With a Tracer, a Ball, and a Lucio, there is zero excuse to never not have a touch. So I think just a little bit of miscommunication there from OU's point. And now you can see Akusora into the Tracer Ball, instantly hops on that cast. Once again, very surprised Ball State didn't take it away from them.
That's what I'm agreeing, but you've got to think, I like the Diva ban. I think it was just for the Freya.
Oh, I forgot. OU banned Sim. They can't ban Cass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so stupid again.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
That's my third dumb moment of the day.
Hey, we got there in the end, because I also didn't think that as well.
Yeah.
We did that together, as Noah just cleans house right there really quick, and LeBron James has got to run away as quick as possible as all four of his teammates are swiftly eliminated. I almost said swiftly eliminated.
All right, now looking at the alts, Ball State, because LeBron James made the late swap on to the Wrecking Ball, Ball State much quicker to that minefield, and they also have double support alt, where remember, Big Whoop already used that sound we were fighting for the first point, and Dexter doesn't quite have the Kitsune Rush just yet, but he'll have it in probably half a second. LeBron James looking for Ada. He actually forces the Tidal Blast to be used on himself. No value is going to come out of it, and now he's going to look for the follow-up. He just burst down Ada. Forty does find a trade on a Topaz, but now LeBron James getting that Lucio out of spawn. He's able to get some speed boost. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Ghost finds the second one that turns the fight back into Ball State's favor. Alphabet finding that Kiri diff. Noah and LeBron James hitting each other very hard at point blank. And now Ball State firmly taking control of this team fight.
Yeah, Ball State is looking like the team to beat here right now. They have been absolutely dominant so far this entire series. Besides really that first point on Nepal, they look in, they get the second cap, and LeBron James falls just to try to get to that new spawn as quick as possible. And I believe that was Ball State that was cheering?
I assume so, and Ball State able to win that point with only using Tidal Blast and Bullet Shot. Ohio, though, they didn't invest a single ult into that fight, so they still have 3 big ults of their own. Let's see which one gets invested first. Let's see who wants to play the pace. Ada actually finds the first kill onto Topaz. That's the ghost sign. LeBron James has to use his minefield now to see if he can hold this space even though they're down a player. Alphabet having to clear these points out, and Ball State up in mind. They're going to use their minefields themselves, and they're now going to take control of the point. They're going to get the cap. Alphabet able to TP Suzu in to keep Droid alive. Or sorry, not Droid, Noah alive. The pulse bomb barely misses onto Akusora. Now the Kitsune Rush comes in from Alphabet and Dexter. Akusora looking for shots. Noah just surviving in his backline. Now goes the engage. It's a great roll through on the team of OU, but Big Whoop finds the first kill on the 40. Alphabet able to trade out the other Tracer player. Nothing is happening yet. There it is. Alphabet kills both. Alphabet kills 3. It's a 3K for the 6-7 man himself. Dot, 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 it's stats.
In the words of Alphabet and the words of Lucas, ew!
Ew, 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 ew.
Alphabet, he's just had these moments where he just shines and just absolutely dominates the other squishies. He had that moment against Miami where he just laid down, I think, 3 people in quick succession. He just has those moments, and it just gives Ball State such a good burst of both energy, because he is the energy man. He had just I'm doing color.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff
here
happening.
we go. Soundbear comes out first from Big Whoop. That forces Ada to use that Tidal Blast response. Ada does find that first kill onto LeBron James. Now Noah fighting for his life on the point, seeing if he can take out Akusor, who switched onto that Sombra. If OU don't win this, they're going to be forced out into the loser's bracket, but there's nobody left alive. They just can't do it. Ball State come on top. They find the trio sweep. They move on to Grand. OU now faces the winner of Kent versus Miami for the loser bracket finals.
That's a great showing from Ball State. They struggled on this map just yesterday, and they showed that it did not get to them, and they have been playing so well. Ada gets a nice play of the game on the burner account. We respect it. What an absolute just overall phenomenal game right now. And just to update any Ball State fans that are watching, the Rocket League team is still up 3-1. It's in overtime. We have it right here.
They're 2.5 minutes into overtime.
Yeah.
I'm going to send us away. Everybody go out, ESC
Yes.
underscore conference. Check out that stream. It is in 2.5 minute overtime. I'm not going to hold you guys for too long. We'll be back with the losers finals. Of course, going to be OU versus the winner of Kent State and Miami, and we will see you guys then.